Okay, here we are again, and another basics on Diablo 4. So this time it's going to be on quests and open world and the dungeon. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to show all aspects on this character because some of the things I need to show need to be in World Tier 3 and or 4. But now I think we can get away with the majority of this video doing that and just talking about the rest. Okay, so story quest. If you haven't done Diablo 4 before, you must. So if it's the very first time stepping into this game, you must complete the story quest first before everything else will open up to you. It doesn't take long if you just stick it on World Tier 1 and run through as quickly as you can, doing everything. Your level will match what you need to do, so you won't get falling behind level-wise and stuff like that. You'll be fine on World Tier 1. On World Tier 2, you might start to lag a little bit towards the end of the middle to the end of the storyline. If you might start getting a bit hard, but you can always drop back down to World Tier 1 if you wanted to. You don't have to stay on World Tier 2. Again, if you're finding it too easy, you don't have to stay on World Tier 1. Okay. Change world tiers 1, 2, 3 and 4 if they're unlocked. You just come into Fractured Peaks, Kovashad, the main city, up to the world tier statue, left click to interact. Okay, so this is a new character that I created on the last video. We've got this one here, Adventure, World Tier 1, Veteran, World Tier 2, and it tells you in here what's recommended, what your enemy details are, so forth. World Tier 3, what you must complete before you get it, so the requirements: you must do Cathedral of Light Capstone Dungeon, which is only active in World Tier 2, not World Tier 1 or the others, in order to get access to World Tier 2. It is recommended from 50 to 70. Okay. The dungeon, the World Tier 2 dungeon will be level 50 mobs. So, make sure you can kill level 50 mobs easily before you go in there to do the capstone. Okay? You have trouble killing a level 50 mob, you could have trouble in the capstone. On average, majority of players seem to get through the capstone once they're level 45 and they've been upgrading their gear and stuff like that. Gear will be on another video, so stay tuned for that one. We'll cover that later. Comment 3 here, you get access to sacred and some unique items. Not all the uniques, but some uniques. You get Nightmare Sigils dropping for World Tier 3, not for the World Tier 4. So sacred sigils. You then get access to your Helltide, and you also get access to champion monsters. Helltides are at a worldwide event that happen every second hour. So it's on for an hour, off for an hour, on for an hour, off for an hour. And it keeps going like that. Okay. Enemies will be harder again. Okay, so quite harder, little bit smarter than on World Tier 2, but not a lot. But Monsters XP 100% extra, another 20% extra gold. You lose 25% of your resistances. Okay, so if you don't have resistance, your resistances will be minus 25. As you go along, you'll pick things up that'll fix that. So don't be too worried about World Tier 3 and there's resistance. World Tier 4, on the other hand, is totally different. Right? You do need to be 70. It's not a requirement. I've been in there 5 before, but obviously being carried by friends. You need to do the capstone of Fallen Temple in World Tier 3. Okay? In order to get that, you need to be able to kill level 70 mobs in that capstone in order to complete it. And the boss is difficult. So, if you're having trouble, might just want to wait a few extra levels or a bit more gear, or maybe have a friend take you, however you like. In World Tier 4, overworld mobs are 73 bucks. Okay? If I walked outside of Covert Shadow on World Tier 4, all the mobs will be level 73 minimum. Some areas they might be a little bit higher. Okay, so that's the world tiers. Once they're unlocked, you can swap between your world tiers as often and as much as you like. Okay. Other things in the overworld in which you can do and might want to pay attention to as you're growing your character, from 1 to 100 and endgame stuff. These here are little events for whispers. The Tree of Whisper there. Completing those, this one, the light pink ones, will give you 1 grim favor. The darker pink ones 3, and the reds will give you 5. World bosses when they come up, there's one available at the moment for me to look at for you. There is not. They appear in 5 locations. Factory Peaks here, in Avazar, and Kyrgyzstan is over here. Dry Steps is this one, and then last one is up here in Scotland. Okay. Quite often they'll be also worth 5 whispers. Not always, depending on how often you've done it, but definitely worth 5. In the PvP zone, here and here, you've got Seething Abomination that runs around, that's worth 5. You've got Purifying the Seas, that's worth your 3, and then you've got your events in here which are worth. So mini events, when you get close to them, they'll come up as a orange circle. Remember where they are. I know there's one here. There's one here. There's only 2 in this other PvP zone. You've got a few more here, up here, and over here, I believe. But what you need to remember, you're in the PvP zone, and you can be killed by other players. Even if you don't flag up for the PvP, they can, and they can attack you. If they attack you, you can attack back without having to flag up and being flagged up. But if you see someone, you can't attack them. Even if they're flagged, you can't touch them unless they attack you first. Okay? PvP zones only. Out in the other world, ready to go. These are strongholds. These are worth quite a bit of the renown. I think they're worth quite a bit of renown, 100 points each. If you are just starting out, you want to get your renowned, okay? And this is a brand new character. You carry over renowns for everything you've done up to this character. So because I've discovered all my altars level, I carry that around. I've discovered all the way areas, so I get all 76 the renowned 5 points that type, 76. So I get all those. They carry over to every character once you've unlocked it all. So not necessarily. Once you've done it on one character, it will carry over to the next. Okay, so if you find one altar or Lilith, that will be done on any other character yet. If you find all 28 Lilith statues, altars, whatever you want to call them, they will carry across to all your other characters. Same with the map. Once you discover a part, that will carry across to your other characters. Waypoints. only the major towns will carry it over to your other characters. Okay, major towns only. Side quests, strongholds do not carry over at all. With these points down the bottom, these will be account wide. Okay, so they carry across. These top ones do not. You need to earn those again in order to get them. Okay, so these unlock in World Tier 3. You can't. That doesn't mean you can't earn the points towards it. You can. You most certainly can. But you don't get them until you enter World Tier 3. Okay, and you've got 5 zones, areas in which you can earn these for. I highly recommend doing it. You get extra 10 skill points. You get extra 20 Paragon points. You get with all the altars of Lilith over the entire 34 of them, you'll get an extra 5 Paragon points. Okay, so they'll give you a total of bonus 25 Paragon points by the time you're finished. Getting to 100, and you get all this and all these on one character. And once you're done on one character, you get them on all characters. Okay, so that's a bit of grind that you don't have to do anymore. Used to, but don't anymore. These things, if you get them, you get them. It's not worth chasing. The bonus XP is minimal. The gold is minimal. It's just not worth worrying about. Okay, so stronghold events to get the points to earn those. Waypoint show up like that once you've discovered the areas, and you haven't got those. So, as I said, I've done it all on another character, so they're showing up where they are. They're just not active. I can't click on. Okay, the blue ones, they're all the major towns that will show up this season at least. The real major ones like Zavanzet, Gaikul, Kedbadu, Kovashad, and Terakar, they will show up all the time. These ones are showing up due to the season. So this one, they're showing up due to the season. This one's another one that will show up once you've gone past it in your story. Okay, the main story. Once you pass that in the main story, that will show up every time. And then you got these ones that get. Imperial Library will show up after you finish the main story as well. The major one for them. Yeah, so that's the open world stuff. You do get. I think I've covered this, but anyway, I'll do it again. You will get events around the place that you can do. Little orange. So that's not an event. This marks an event, but there are more around. Don't have them. You don't get them marked up on the map. But anyway, there's an event there. Orange ring. Go inside. Do what it wants you to do, and you'll complete. That one will gain you a whisper. Others will not. You'll just get XP from it, and some of them can be worth a decent amount of XP for you, especially if it's the first one. Dungeons, these are marked by these ones here, like this, that sort of thing. That's the dungeon that I've done, okay, and I've achieved the associated aspect for it. This is one that I have not done on any other character, okay, so you can see I haven't gone yet. But aspects carry over to all characters once you've found them. If you haven't, they show up. Anyway, that's the dungeons. They're normal dungeons in open world. You can go into them. There's nothing stopping you from going in there. They're going to be of level appropriate for you when you go into them. Okay, that said, in World Tier 3 and World Tier 4, you can get sigils and craft sigils. Level 2, I didn't do nothing. Anyway, Bosses come about chapter 3, beginning of chapter 4 of the main story quest. Once you've unlocked that on one character, you get it for 4. This is where you can craft sigil with this character here, but not until you reach 20, 25, something like that, before you can craft sigils there. You're going to be around level 50 before you can use sigils anyway. But a sigil will cause these normal dungeons, a select number of them, not all of them, but a select number of these normal dungeons to be enhanced, so become nightmare. You'll get sigils in my bank, my stash tab there. It appears, I don't know. So I've got a lot of stuff on my own. Anyway, sigils will have different aspects of themselves, things that will enhance you, and one thing that will enhance you, and from 2 to 4 things that will enhance the mobs that are in there. So you need to be mindful of what you're doing, because some of them will be helpful, some of them will not be helpful. Well, I'll cover sigils again later on, because this is starting to get a bit long in the tooth now, this video. Yeah. Dungeons, anytime when World Tier 1, World Tier 2, Nightmare Dungeons, as long as you've got the sigil for it. Some of them require being unlocked, like in this Ruins of Warayasu. By completing this stronghold, I get access to the Paladel, in which case I can then go into that one. But that's not even showing up here because I haven't finished this stronghold. Same for this stronghold here, Eraman's Pyre. There's a dungeon in there that you can do once that has been cleared. So there's a few around that are like. So just be, if you're looking for something specific, you look on the internet and say, oh, this is where it is, but you can't find it. It could be because it's behind a stronghold. It's in a good interest to at least finish all the strongholds, at least on one character. It's not going to hurt, and it's XP. Strongholds will always be 2 levels. Monsters in the strongholds will always be 2 levels above your character, no matter what world tier you're on, and what level you are. It will always be 2 levels above. If it is even so on level 1, I'm pretty sure of that. I'm believing that's the covering of the most things. Hell ties will appear in the 5 different zones, except in Fractured Peaks at the moment while the Blight's going on, which is just a special event in amongst the season for the Christmas period. So that's a special thing. I believe, could be wrong, but I believe that will be finishing around 2nd to 8th January, something like that. This is part of the Seasons of Blood. It's called Blood Tide. That is always running hour at a time. It will shift every hour. So you've got here. It's here at the moment. It will go here. It will go down here, and it will come up here. So 4 locations to where you can find this. Good place for finding gear if that's what you're needing. Where this marker is here is a set of 3 pylons. Activate those pylons and another event will occur. Put all the mobs in there, they drop heaps of gear. I mean heaps of gear, and lots of XP. Okay, so if you can do that, well and good. If someone else is doing it, join in. Open world. Anyone can help out. Anyone can join in, get the XP, get the gear, get everything. It's personal loot and XP. You can help, others can help. You won't lose anything, they won't lose anything. You all get it. Okay, that's how it works. But yeah, there you go. It just changed. So it went from here over to here. So that was a good showing then. Okay, quest for the Blood Season 2. Season of Blood. You do, in order to use the blood skills, you do need to do at least some of the quest line. I believe you need to start it here, do a little bit around here, go up to this point up here, and then come back here, hand it in and all that sort of thing. And then you can start using the blood powers that you get. You won't be able to unlock all of them. Some of them will require you to do the blood tide, and some of them will require you to finish the storyline. Okay, so I believe there's 5 with the storyline and 2 with the blood powers that you can use. And some of them are required by some of the builds if you want to follow a guide. I'll deal with guides later on. I think I've covered most of the open world stuff. I've done the world bosses, I've done the events, the strongholds, dungeons. Pretty sure I've covered most of it. I've done the Nightmare World boss event, Blood Tide, Helltide, Whispers. That's all covered. So yes, I have covered all that. In the next one, I will look at leveling, and I'll probably even get some XP on this character and show you how to do leveling on the character that you plan to do. They're all very similar, whether you follow guide or not. That's up to you. That's the next run. Thank you for watching, and details on my Twitch and so forth will be in the description. If you liked it, if it's helpful, don't forget subscribe, ring the bell and all that sort of thing. The usual YouTube stuff. So thank you all, and I shall catch you in the next one.